Purposeful Nudge introduces Field Service Rewired, Anatomy of a Moment of Truth, the value of human in the loop.
You're 10 minutes from delivering a quarterly review to the board. Suddenly, your screen flickers, glitches, and goes completely black. The laptop is dead. To the corporate IT network, this is just a logged hardware fault, a minor blip on a back-end server. But sitting at that desk, staring at a blank reflection, you aren't thinking about system architecture. You are experiencing a total loss of control and panic. In 1987, former airline executive Jan Carlson defined these exact situations as moments of truth. He realized that a company's reputation is forged in the brief, high-stakes interactions where a person confronts a failure or friction point in the business. Apply that logic to modern enterprise networks. When the tools we rely on to do our jobs fail, it triggers real anxiety. A downed server or a frozen application is an emotional crisis disguised as an operational error. Yet, the way organizations measure IT success completely ignores this emotional reality. Traditional help desks focus purely on speed and uptime, remaining blind to how people actually experience the technology. This dashboard tracks traditional SLAs, showing 99% uptime and fast closures. Everything glows green. Insiders call this the watermelon dashboard, because when you slice it open, the inside is red. AI models lag, laptops overheat, batteries drain, and users are furious. Fixing the broken component is only half the battle. Field service technicians manage the human element as much as the machine, acting as a firewall that protects the user's focus. Executives usually design rigid support procedures in pristine conference rooms. That's work as designed. Out in the field, technicians face work as done, a messy, unpredictable environment where stress runs high and patience runs low. A traditional fixer walks in, silently swaps out a faulty hard drive, and leaves. The machine operates again, but the employee is still tense, wondering what caused the crash and if it will happen again tomorrow. Compare that to a trust architect. This technician actively communicates. They explain the issue, offer immediate workarounds, and guide the user through the repair process. They deliberately reduce the user's uncertainty. This chart maps out the first half of the experience cascade. When we start with empathetic technician behavior, listening, explaining, and validating the problem, it triggers an immediate, measurable spike in employee confidence. Watch how the cascade expands outward. That restored confidence directly enables restored productivity. Over the long term, employees who trust their support teams are far more likely to adopt new, complex software. Behavioral soft skills and emotional intelligence are now the defining, measurable competitive edge in enterprise field services. Many organizations assume that as self-service portals, telemetry, and artificial intelligence improve, human technicians will eventually become obsolete. But look at the massive top-down push for corporate tech adoption happening right now. Companies are aggressively rolling out complex digital transformations, creating severe change fatigue among employees trying to keep up. This creates an automation paradox. Because AI efficiently handles all the simple password resets and routine queries, the only problems that ever reach a human technician are the highly complex, emotionally charged crises that demand nuanced judgment. To bridge this gap, progressive companies are deploying physical tech bars directly in corporate hubs. These walk-up support desks serve as the enterprise antidote to change fatigue and unmanaged shadow AI usage. They function as exploration zones. Instead of fighting with an automated chat queue, an employee gets barrier-free face-to-face coaching. This lowers adoption anxiety and stops expensive software licenses from turning into unused shelfware. Automation doesn't replace the technician. It strips away the repetitive tasks, intentionally freeing up the human to step in, safeguard user trust, and guide the workforce through the messy middle of change. To make this human-centric reality work, organizations have to rethink how they measure success. That means moving away from legacy service-level agreements that grade an IT department exclusively on how fast they can close a ticket. This radar chart demonstrates the shift to experience-level agreements, or XLAs. These frameworks quantify human outcomes, customer effort, overall user sentiment, and minutes to productive, the actual time it takes an employee to resume their workflow. Measuring sentiment and effort surfaces the underlying friction that traditional logs miss. giving teams the data needed to stabilize trust before the user-technology relationship breaks. This is the modern support matrix. AI diagnostics, self-service portals, physical tech bars, and human field technicians do not operate in competing silos. They form a single cohesive ecosystem smoothly orbiting the user. Which brings us back to that crucial quarterly review. The employee is now in the boardroom, pressing the clicker, actively leading the presentation with relaxed posture and complete control. The repaired laptop is functionally invisible to them now. Their restored confidence is the only metric that truly matters to the business. Field service secures the relationship between an employee and their technology. By restoring technical certainty, it preserves the productivity that moves the entire business forward.
For more insights, subscribe to Purposeful Nudge and start rewiring your field services organization today.